What does this inequality mean? The value we've chosen for C is given this thing is true, it's greater than 0.95. So we've chosen our thing for C here. On this graph, it corresponds to an error of 0.1. We need on this graph for it to be a type 2 error on this graph, which is now with mu. So this one before we did on the first graph was with mu equals to 15 up here. This one now is mu equals 14.9. And so for the same thing to hold true, we need the value C, which we determined as this thing here, to correspond to an area of greater than 0.95 on this graph. That's what's going to cause a type 2 error. That's what this question is asking, and go through in your head why that's true statistically speaking, and in this logic, because it's not easy stats. It's deceptively simple, but I do struggle with this quite a bit, and I encourage you to really deep about this and before your exams understand why, because it become very, very intuitive. But yes, we need a C on this thing to correspond to it. And C we know is a function of n when we first wrote it down over here. And then we can solve this for n. So specifically, how are we going to go about finding this thing? Well, again, because we've got functions of n, we can't just type things into a calculator. We're going to have to go back and solve this thing in terms of the canonical normal distribution. So doing this substitution, x equals, or z equals x minus mu over sigma. So px is less than c is the same as x bar minus mu, which is 14.9 now, over sigma prime, which is still the same, which is 0.2 over n. Okay, so that, and then this needs to be less than or equal to the same thing for C. C minus 14.9 over 0.2 over root n. This now is the value of z on this axis, such on the same graph, but remember scaled back. So as if it had a mean 0 and a standard deviation either side of 1. So this is this point here, z 0.95, so this area is 0.95, which you can look up, and that gives you 1.645. So you can do that one on your calculator because there's no n dependence on this graph, or you can just look it up in the table. So that gives us 1.645. So we get greater than or equal to c minus 14.9 over 0.2 root n. And we know what our value for c is. We worked that out earlier, so it's equal to this thing. So we're solving 1.645 is less than or equal to, and then this is 15 minus 2.326 times 0.2 over root n. So that's our c minus 14.9 over 0.2 over root n.